Alright guys, today on Dub's Saw Shop, we're talking chains. Yesterday when we was cutting out there on some of the big stuff, we ended up taking a hit on one side of the chain. So the right hand cutters didn't take a hit at all. Left hand cutters ended up getting dinged up pretty bad, so we went ahead and sharpened those up. Got them sharp, and that's cutting at a weird angle. So, what I want to do, bring you guys in. Let's talk a little bit about that and why. Here we go. We were cutting these right hand cutters. Perfect. Nothing happened to them. Every one of the left hand cutters ended up taking a hit. And they got pretty dang dinged up. So we came in here and we sharpened them. All of them. All the way around. Now when this all cuts, comes down and does this number. But why is that? Why is this thing cutting crooked? Is it because all the teeth are not the same length? Because you got to sharpen each one 5 strokes, 4 strokes. Rubbish. The chain does not have to be 4 strokes off each tooth, blah yada 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 BS that you've heard. The only thing, you could have teeth of various different lengths. You could have a brand new tooth, a tooth that's half that size behind it, a quarter of that size behind it, an eighth of a tooth, a full tooth. It doesn't matter. What dictates how straight your cut is how you set your rakers up. Your rakers, your drags, depth gauges, depth plates, whatever you want to call them. The teeth length does not matter. Alright? So let's think about this. This saw now is cutting down to the right. What's happening is now that we have taken length off of the left hand cutters and we did not adjust our rakers, drags, the relationship between the top of this raker and the top of this tooth is shorter. It's lower. We lowered this tooth, which means this tooth is not taking a big enough bite. These have not been touched. So say these are set at 25 thousandths factory. Now this one was 25 thousandths, but now we've sharpened it. We may only be at 15. And that's on this whole side. So every right hand cutter is taking a bigger bite out of the wood. Left hand side's taking a smaller bite, which is causing the cut to go towards the right. It will cut towards whichever side is taking the most out. It's just the nature of it. So how do we fix this? Well, there's a couple ways. We can sharpen the ever-living hell out of these right-hand cutters and get those down to about the same length as all the left-hand cutters without touching the rakers. Is it still going to cut perfect? Absolutely not. Because each tooth now is different. We may have had to take 10 swipes off of this tooth. May have had to take 20 off of this one to get it sharp. You shouldn't worry about stroke count. Sharpen the tooth until it's sharp. Okay? So the easiest way to combat this, nothing's wrong with this right-hand cutter. Leave it alone. So what you need to do now, get your depth gauge. You can check all of them, but mainly check this right-hand side to see where these are set. So these may be set at 25 thousandths. And if they are, set each left-hand cutter, this one, this one, this one, this one, all the ones on the left, set all those back to 25 thousandths. And it'll cut straight. In my mind, that's the easiest way to do this. It's the easiest way to look at it. Sharpen the tooth till it's sharp. And check all the rakers on that one side. Set all of them. And like I said, if you don't know what these right-hand rakers are set at, or if you don't have a gauge to be able to determine what that depth is, but you have a 30 thousandths gauge, set all of them. Change every single raker, drop it down to 30 thousandths. Whatever you have, whatever you use, change every one of them to the same. And you should have no problem cutting straight. Sharpen the tooth until it is sharp. If it's got a ding on it, sharpen it until that ding is gone. Because that ding on the tip, even though it looks sharp, it is not sharp. So that's why if you take a good rock hit on a chain, like this one, you could lose 1/2 to 3/4 of a tooth in one little mess up. And you could really rock a whole chain and destroy it easily. But that's just how it is. It's a consumable product. It gets damaged. Like I said, that's why if your chainsaw's curving, that's what's going on. One side, the side that it is curving to. So if your saw's curving to the right, your right-hand cutters are sharper and taking a bigger bite than your left-hand cutters. Curves to the left, your left-hand cutters are either sharper or you've got your rakers down too low on that one side. That's why it's a good idea to use a gauge. That way you can set each one just like all the others. That way you end up with a nice straight cut. It's probably not the best demonstration. I'm definitely not the best teacher. I don't know another way to say it. I'm not really good at it. But telling you what I know, I'm passing information along. Hopefully you can learn, straighten up your cuts a little bit. And just know that everything doesn't have to be perfect. It's not always rainbows, butterflies. Short tooth, long tooth does matter. Make sure they're sharp to the best of your ability. And make sure, importantly, all your rakers are the same. Sharp tooth is just as important as the rakers, but either or can make or break a chain in no time. If you go too far on your rakers and you end up with a really grabby chain, here's how you fix that. Take 3 or 4 swipes off of each tooth. Alright? That will shorten that tooth up. Shortening the tooth up is going to lower the distance. It's going to lower the depth that thing's cutting. So that's the only time I would take 2 or 3 swipes off of a tooth. Light swipes too. Don't go crazy with it. Just knock your teeth down a little bit, shorten them up. That way you end up getting a little bit more smoother cut. So, hope this helps somebody. You can straighten your chainsaw cutting up. Y'all have a good day. Dubs, we out.